One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News. To be with you, I'm Alice Banda. The headline: over 100,000 hectares of maize field in Central Province damaged by dry spell. Mbesha village in Kasama district cut off due to flooding at Lukulu River. Government to establish beef agro parks in Southern Province. In sports news, Copper Queens confident of beating Ghana. President Hakainde Hichilema says the economic transformation agenda that the government has embarked on needs an informed, ethical, and quality public service workers. Mr. Hichilema says vital information sharing among public service workers is a cornerstone for economic development, and that the training of cabinet ministers on economic governance by NIPA will accelerate the Zambian economy. He was speaking during the launch of the economic governance training for cabinet ministers at Mulungushi International Conference Center. Sande Walia has more in this report.
Continuous training of public service workers on ethics and professionalism, among other government issues, is key in sharpening their skills. For this reason, President Hakainde Hichilema has commended the National Institute of Public Administration, NIPA, for offering training to public workers in order to enhance their understanding of government operations. He was speaking during the launch of the economic governance training for cabinet ministers at Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka.
Quality of the public sector, delivery, commitment to duty, servant leadership. I could see in my own mind, obviously I love numbers, as many Zambians know, that there is a decline here. And it wasn't a shock for me to see that the economy began to decline, and decline at an exponential level. Not good. And so one of the early decisions I asked myself and my colleagues, I say, where's NIPA? What's happening to NIPA? So this relaunch, this refocus of NIPA is not a thumbsuck. It is a conscious decision that we must return to training those that work for the public, sharpen their skills, benchmark, let them benchmark. And that's why we're very happy to have the Prof from South Africa. And thank you to President Ramaphosa for allowing you to come and work with us in this journey. We're very grateful for that. Benchmarking is very important. Knowledge sharing, no need to reinvent the wheel. Very, very important.
And NIPA Executive Director Royson Mukwena said the 4-day training is focused on imparting skills in cabinet ministers.
We are focusing in this training on agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, and mining. We are also looking, since the program began, looking at various challenges and opportunities that exist. And these challenges include, among others, access to finance, issues of infrastructure. We are also looking at opportunities that exist for the people of this country, opportunities like the emerging markets that we have, and the global demand for some of our products.
Earlier, Secretary to Cabinet Patrick Kangwa praised NIPA management for strengthening the public service through training.
Mr. President, to borrow your words, the National Institute of Public Administration is back in the Champions League and committed to fostering a competent and ethical public service through training and certification of public servants. Mr. President, it is important to acknowledge that one of the reasons that led to the ministries, provinces, and agencies to discontinue sending their staff to NIPA for training was attributed to the exorbitant training costs, where the trainees were expected to travel to Lusaka and lodge at NIPA, or expensive lodges and hotels in order to access NIPA training programs. Mirroring on successful models, NIPA has embraced innovative solutions such as virtual training delivery, through the Public Service Training Information System to overcome these hurdles and ensure cost-effective and accessible training for public service employees across the country.
And former Secretary to Cabinet Leslie Mbula highlighted the important role NIPA plays in offering training to public workers.
NIPA must come back and carry out the role that it was intended for. And I'm so grateful to the President that he has taken up this matter and has ensured that NIPA comes back to its original intention.
For Zanis in Lusaka, I am Sunday Warrior.
Over 100,000 hectares of maize field in Central Province have been destroyed beyond redemption due to a prolonged dry spell. Here is a report.
Benson Kamsaki is a driver working for the government. He was encouraged to get into agriculture following government's call to enhance agriculture production in the country. This is what remains of his field after investing more than 20,000 kwacha.
My plea to the government, my plea to the government is to help us with any loans of irrigation. We'll be able to achieve.
Benson is among farmers in Kabwe who have lost their crops following a 1-month dry spell. Juliet Mulemba also lost everything she invested in her fields. Juliet is calling on government to come to her aid. More than 200,000 hectares of maize fields have been affected by the dry spell in Central Province. Over 100,000 has been completely destroyed.
Out of this total number of 202,440 hectares that has been affected, a total number of 101,220 representing a 50% has been damaged beyond repair.
Government is calling on farmers bordering dams and other water sources to replant early maturely seeds to mitigate a looming hunger.
As a province, we stand at 31,000 hectares. And I want to call upon the farmers that are near those areas to take this opportunity, do winter maize.
Shupekile Nkunika reporting in Kabwe.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has conducted the first certification of the Register of Voters under the Continuous Voters Registration exercise. ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Brown Kasaro says over 13,000 registered voters, constituting about 45% female and 55% male, have been incorporated into the 2021 Voters Register. Mr. Kasaro said the certified register will include voters who registered from June 2022 to December 2022. He said the overall count on the National Register now stands at over 7 million. Zanis reports that Mr. Kasaro was speaking at a media briefing in Lusaka today, and Zambia Center for Interparty Dialogue Board Chairperson Joyce Musenge has commended the ECZ for taking a step in the registration of voters and further called on political parties to encourage the youths and persons with disabilities to participate in the exercise.
The certificate reads the Electoral Process Act 2016, the Electoral Process Registration of Voters Regulations 2020 certificate. I hereby certify that this is a true copy of the Register of Voters, prepared in respect of the polling stations listed in the Register of Voters in accordance with the Electoral Registration of Voters Regulations, and that this register shall come into force with effect from 21st February 2024, replacing all previous registers, and shall remain in force until a new register of voters is prepared and certified in accordance with the regulations. A total of 13,363 registered voters, constituting 45% female and 55% male, have been incorporated into the 2021 register of voters. Consequently, the overall count of the national register now stands at 7,036,862. That is up from the previous total of 7,023,499.
It is incumbent upon us as political parties to encourage our youth, the members, our youth and persons with disabilities in our political parties to participate in this continuous voter registration.
We move to Northwestern Province. Solwezi's Central Member of Parliament Stafford Mulusa has urged contractors in the mining sector to start giving back to the community through corporate social responsibility. Speaking when he visited Kansanshi Mining PLC to check on the expansion works on the Sulphide No. 3 project, Mr. Mulusa said it is not only the job of mining companies to give back to the community, but also contractors who equally make money. We move to the Copper Belt Province. The Advocacy on Human Development Organization has initiated the Grand Watch project to enhance transparency and accountability in the utilization of public funds. ADHO Executive Director Chris Mwemba disclosed that the project, which is co-sponsored by the German Corporation and the European Union, will focus on monitoring the spending of constituency development funds and school grants within public schools. More in the following report.
Advocacy on Human Development Organization, AHDO, has launched a project aimed at bolstering accountability and transparency in the utilization of Constituency Development Fund CDF and school grants within public schools in Mufulira District. The Grant Watch project, co-sponsored by the German Corporation and the European Union, seeks to strengthen monitoring systems and enhance stakeholder capacity to ensure responsible utilization of school grants. By ensuring responsible utilization of school grants, the project endeavors to elevate the quality of education, aligning with Sustainable Development Goal, SDG number 4, the provision of inclusive and equitable quality education for all by 2030.
There will be training of the PTAs, formation of the budget tracking, and also try to budget track the money which is given to the schools religiously. Just look at the systems, there. When we are making withdrawals, are the PTA involved?
Ministry of Education Copperbelt Senior Education Standards Officer in charge of special education, Laban Mape, representing the ministry, instructed schools to fully embrace the project.
Accountability as concept and transparent as concept must be owned. Concept must be owned, not theoretics or philosophies, no.
Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC Senior Corruption Prevention Officer, Elina Mukuka, emphasized the importance of combating corruption and promoting transparency.
All the citizens will feel the effect of corruption. When those public resources are diverted, the effect will be felt by everyone.
The Grant Watch project in Mufulira is anticipated to run for a total of 10 months. Rachel Chisulu, Zanis, Mufulira.
We take our first break. Join us for more stories when we return.
Kanti kolera kibutuku manyim. Kolera kibutuku bwakusululam. Muti yanani butuku bwa kolera utasulula ni kutazam. Muti yakula butuku bwa kolera usulula meza mfutasi na araisi aya kwa mutabanim. Mukuliyo ukato kwa mezi mamubili bakengisa kufufulelwam. Mukuliyo ukona kutimela mwahala lihola zeli shumi kazepeli haiva asafumanilikalafo zambuwam. Mutu ukona kuyambula choni butuku wakoreram. Kunwa mezi aska keniswa kapa kunwa mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho ni mazo atezi masila kapa kuitusali ya peiso zetapisizwe ni mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho zesika kwaelwa ni kuselezwa kwa linzinzimu. Kuchalicho zelobezi ilizeo alisika bukelezwa handem. Kuchalicho zele kisiwa mama kululum. Kuchalitolwana manicholo ni mulo zesika tapiswamu. lukonachwa ni kuiselezwa kwa butuku bwa kolera kuvilisa mezi akunwa kapa kuvea mwateni chlorine mfutumaze lichoza mina pili musikali cha kale mukwaye lichoza mina kaufela kulisileleza kwa linzinzi musike mwacha licho za mwamakululu mwitu seka limbalimba nako kaufela mi musike mwa itusa bikopo kapa mapepa amuyumba zemasilamu mubone kuli mutabani walatelwa mwakalimbalimba mubone kuli kalimbalimba kamina kakenile nako kaufela manichwalo ni kukwayelwa ling'osa litakumina kuzwa kuba likolo la makete.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Residents of Mbesha village in Kasama district have been cut off from accessing medical services and other social amenities following the submerging of the bridge at Lokulu River. Kasama District Commissioner Annie Paul, who visited the area to check on the situation, has expressed worry over the matter, but assured the community of government's intervention. Japhet Munkondia brought us this report.
Expectant mothers in Mbesha village of Kasama district are facing challenges accessing medical services from Chirubura Mission Hospital. This is because they have to cross the Rukulu River, which is now full to its capacity, to reach the health facility. Mbesha village headman James Murenga explains some of the challenges these people are facing, especially school-going children and expectant mothers.
Abana besukulu nyuko namu noko baleyabuka ichipatala nyuko chechi nyuko chonse fifwa ikwa nyuko so esyamenshi eshilefi natuputokilo so tulelo mba kubuteko matwafuili siko twalila twapapata sana mwe butweko twiminine ko muamye inche ndeyesu ubulalo elo no musobo wini oyo.
Kasama District Commissioner Anipo visited the area to appreciate some challenges the people are facing and assured them of government's intervention.
When we heard that our people have found themselves in this predicament, we decided as government to come and see for ourselves, and indeed we've seen that this bridge is actually very, very important, and this is what our people are going through. The President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, has always told us through CDF to make sure that crossing points are worked on, and we are here with engineers from local authority.
Some community members had this to say.
My humble appeal to the government yakutira benga tuloleshako benga monefe abantu balechula because they are being cut off from accessing education and health etc. So ewafe wetwepitamu
bana maternity nga balwala obushikubala chula abana nga balwala obushikubala chula kanshi na ifa bene bonse fwe bayikalile nga twalwala bonse kuchula okuya ku hospital musaba feta pabo obushoko kubonse bene uno yine.
Reporting for Zanis in Kasama, I'm Japhet Munkondia.
The Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has donated various supplies to Chavuma district in Northwestern Province as relief efforts to combat the outbreak of cholera completely. The donated items to be distributed to various treatment centers and schools include granular and liquid chlorine, sugar, beans, salt, cooking oil, among others. Details in this report.
The Office of the Vice President through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has donated various supplies to Chavuma district to aid relief efforts to combat the outbreak of cholera completely. The donated items to be distributed to various treatment centers and schools include granular and liquid chlorine, sugar, beans, salt, cooking oil, among others.
So we need to appreciate the new donor government for its work and laboring to ensure that even in Chavuma, almost 12,000 kilometers away from the capital city, but the government is able to consider us in this aspect. So we need to appreciate the government for the gesture that has been given to our district. In this context, please, I'm appealing to all who are going to receive this consignment, please put it to use for the benefit of our patients and of our clients here and all those that are going to utilize these resources for the betterness of our community. So I've got some beans, granules, sugar, salty, cooking oil, soap, which is actually available here for this institution. Basically, we have got Chavuma Mission, which is our CTC, Cholera Treatment Center.
Speaking while receiving the same donation at the district administration offices, stakeholders have commended government for the development.
I just want to take this time to appreciate what the government has done for our district, especially our department as health. We have received these things, we have received chlorine, we have received beans, we have received cooking oil, sugar, as a way of combating and responding to the cholera outbreak in our district. As a district, we have been fighting hard, which this time around we are recording 0 cases. Of which it's very much important that we have received chlorine. Under our ministry, active case surveillance remains key. Because we should look for these cases in the community. When people are found, they are admitted at the Treatment Center there. And since we have received this food, people will eat at the Treatment Center, disinfecting of the places and CTC that side, we won't have problems.
Thank you. The office of our Honor, the Vice President, and to the government of the day for what we've received. We've received a bag of beans, 2 packets of sugar.
Josephine Banda reporting for Zanis, Chavuma District in Northwestern Province.
More in health news, Copper Belt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo has called for concerted efforts in addressing the high cholera cases in the province. Mr. Kasongo disclosed that about 38 deaths have since been recorded and 46 people are admitted in the cholera centers across the province. He was speaking during the Water and Sanitation Stakeholders meeting at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Dola District. Still in the news, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services have implored the Child Protection Committee, CPC, in Mambwe District of Eastern Province to be proactive in tackling issues to do with the welfare of children in the district. Eastern Province Child Development Coordinator Gerard Tembo said issues to do with children should be attended to as they occur, adding that any delay might cause repercussions on the children's future. Mr. Tembo said children had become endangered species that needed protection from many predators and vices. Zanis reports that Mr. Tembo said this during a roll-out meeting on the Children's Code Act No. 12 of 2022, the National Child Safeguarding and the National Child Participation Framework. He said there was a lot of abuse and violence affecting children and the majority of it was not being reported. He observed that the government had taken a step to alleviate the welfare of children by providing free education, but unfortunately children were still left to roam the streets instead of being in school.
I implore you that issues to do with children are a time bomb if we don't attend to them as we are supposed to. Reasons being, children now have become an endangered species. There are a lot of abuses and violence that is happening affecting children. Government has taken a step by trying to alleviate the welfare of children by providing free education. But still more, we are still finding children are left to roam the streets. They are not going to school. Whatever excuse parents have found, only them know. One thing we need to realize is that we were at one time children ourselves. And somebody tendered us in order for us to be what we are today. So we have a responsibility placed on our shoulders to ensure that every child is protected. According to the law, every consenting adult has a responsibility to protect children. When we are at work, we've sent people or children to school. And the people who are to school, the teachers, are placed with responsibility to see that children are safe. But we have reports where teachers are cited having abused children. We have reports of maids at home abusing children. Right now we are talking about the Children Code Act, which is the Supreme Court law as regards children. If we are not sensitizing the people ourselves in the communities where we are coming from, in the institutions where we are working, then we have contributed to the failure of government.
The Zion Church in Chadiza District has dispelled assertions that it does not accept conventional medical attention. Jikabanda, aged 70, from Sakwi village, a traditional spiritual healer, says they are currently working with the Ministry of Health as they advise members to seek medical attention, especially if they notice the need. And Acting District Director of Health, Harrison Simbeye, has expressed satisfaction with the medical seeking modes of the public. Take a look at this report.
In 1796, due to frequent acts of discrimination and segregation in white Methodist churches, many black parishioners left to form separate ministries, and Zion Church was then formed. In Zambia, Chadiza was among some districts that deterred some public members from accessing medical attention due to the church's demands, but with time, life is not the same. Now, accessing health services is one of the prerequisites to a good and healthier life.
Poyamba sana chile analuvyendesa vamakolo analikufa watu matenda analikufa ni matenda amwe yabwera yatsopano yaya yakulu nongo masunga sadzoti kode magazi yake nyabwanji mafu
yathu sizioni cheweretsa kuchipatala yayi ijana kamba kuti yathu dzina yeni zioni koma malamulo azioni ija tiribe
The health professionals are satisfied with the church's involvement.
We've had a very good working relationship with the churches and the church leaders in the community. They have been very, very supportive. We are sending the message and encouraging their members to receive healthcare services. Messages are sent through the churches, and I must say, once you receive that message, please go ahead and receive those health services from our respective facilities because they are meant for you and it's a benefit for you and your family.
The members want all to be healthy.
Tiendera pamozi na chipatala nizanga zochita obwera kuzigono kapena kutulo. Mwina ulibe magazi, mwina ulibe mazi, mwina nchotu pamoja sunga kwanise weka tiendesa kuchipatala apanso timaesa ngati tili amodzi koma chipatala chikulu kuboma.
Jubal Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza District, Eastern Province.
We take a break. More stories when we return. Don't go away.
Kodi kolera ndi chani?
Kolera ndi matenda othulula. Munthu amene adwala matenda ya kolera amathulula kwambiri ndi kusanza. Dothi lake limakhala ngati madzi momwe atsukira mpunga. Ndipo munthu odwala kolera madzi mthupi lake amatha kamba kakuti iye amachoka kwambiri kupyolera mkusanza ndi kuthulula kwambiri. Munthu odwala kolera angamwalire m'maola 12 kaya kuti 12 hours ngati sanalandire mwamsanga thandizo la mankhwala.
Kodi munthu angatengere motani matenda a kolera?
Kumwa madzi adothi, kudya zakudya ndi m'manja mosasamba mwadothi kapena kugwiritsa ntchito mbale zotsukiwa ndi madzi adothi. Kudya zakudya zimene zinangosiwa mosasamala posabwinikira. Kudya zakudya zozizira zachimbala zimene sizinasungiwa bwino. Kudya zakudya zimene amagulitsa mphepete mwa misewu. Kudya zipatso ndi ndiwo zamasamba zosatsuka.
Kodi kolera ingachinjiriziwe?
Gadusani madzi anu akumwa kapena kugwiritsa ntchito chlorine. Sambani m'manja ndi madzi aukhondo ndi sopo mukamaliza kugwiritsa ntchito chimbudzi. Funditsani zakudya mukalebe kuyamba kudya. Osadya zakudya zimene zimagulitsiwa mphepete mwa misewu. Muyenera kubwinikira zakudya kuopetsa kuti ntchentche zingakakeko. Nthawi zonse muyenera kugwiritsa ntchito chimbudzi. Pewani kugwiritsa ntchito machemba kapena maplastiki ngati chimbudzi. Onani kuti dothi litayiwa mchimbudzi. Nthawi zonse onani kuti zimbuzi zikhala zaukhondo ndipo nthawi zonse pambowa wa chimbudzi chanu pazikhala pobwinikira bwinobwino. Okubweretsani uthenga uyu ndi aunduna wa zaumoyo.
In business news, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Permanent Secretary John Mulongoti says government has advanced plans to establish beef agro parks in districts along the Kafue floodplain in southern province. Mr. Mlongoti explains that the government, working with the Zambia Development Agency, wants to invest in the livestock sector as it has the potential for diversification into various value chains that will facilitate industrialization and job creation. He was speaking in Choma district when he paid a courtesy call on Southern Province Permanent Secretary Namani Monze, and Zambia Development Agency Director General Albert Halwampa says the institution will ensure to market the potential that lies in the livestock sector in a bid to attract more investors in the planned agro parks. Meanwhile, Dr. Monze says the program will facilitate the actualization of the Presidential Delivery Unit, which prioritizes wealth and job creation in order to improve the livelihoods of citizens, especially from rural communities.
We want to develop the agro park or the beef zone, starting with Namwala. We believe that in terms of animal population, the highest numbers you'll find them along the Kafue flats, and it's high time government put its resources together, working with the provincial leadership and also working with the local authorities, because with the local authorities, they will be the ones spearheading the zone development. The Ministry of Commerce, working with the Zambia Development Agency, will be facilitating and also holding the communities and the various investors who will come into this zone as we develop the beef value chain.
We are grateful that you are now here to engage with us on some of the priorities that the country has set for itself, and some of these are within the priorities of the Presidential Delivery Unit.
We are so happy that we've come to a point where we can begin to package, beef as a lucrative business for the regional and international markets. So we are here to make sure that our people along the Kafue flats, as a starting point, begin to leverage on the beef that we have been dealing with for so many years.
About 5.8 million has been disbursed by the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission towards 7 projects in the Eastern Province. The financing that is under Project Financing Scheme is aimed at supporting projects that are valued in the range of 50,000 kwacha to 3 million kwacha. Speaking during a project monitoring exercise of the 2 million kwacha supported Kaumbwe milling plant in Chief Mwanjawanto's chiefdom of Petauke district in the Eastern Province, CEEC Public Relations and Communications Manager Mijelo Mukata said the Commission is encouraged with the progress at the project. Hope Walia now reports.
The Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC, is determined to foster broad-based economic empowerment to citizens through several integrated socio-economic strategies. To this effect, the Commission has empowered Kaumbwe Milling Company in Chief Mwanjawanto's chiefdom of Petauke district with the project financing loan to set up a milling plant.
Our main aim is to produce meal and empowering the community. That's why we even bought the big transformer, so that it's a by project. We are going to use 182 kVs. The remaining one, we are going to empower the community. In a year, our targets to produce almost 15,000 bags of meal. Then the remaining product, like bland, tizambo ipeleka into finished product kupanga mafeeds.
And CEC Public Relations and Communications Manager sheds more light on the project finance aspects of the institution's loan scheme.
The Commission in the province has been able to support 7 projects valued at close to 5.8 million kwacha. Now, just to put it into context, because the value that is expected to be injected in this project is significantly higher, we're talking amounts between 50,000 kwacha and 3 million kwacha, we find that less people are applying for this loan product because of the amount of money involved. But for us, it's also an opportunity to still tell the story that once you responsibly utilize the facility, as we have witnessed here at Samplex Enterprises, which will be trading as Kaumbwe Millers, we are very encouraged because we only financed this project in November 2023. And 3 months later, about 60% of the works have been completed.
Hope Walia, Petauke District, Eastern Province.
Chama North Member of Parliament Yoram Mtachalo is not happy with some contractors engaged in the supply of desks in the district due to the poor quality of the products being supplied. Mr. Mtachalo has since reminded the local authority in the district to strengthen its mechanism for selection of contractors. Here is a report.
Constituent Development Fund (CDF) has brought a lot of developments in Chama district, and in ensuring that the development continues, Chama North Member of Parliament Yoram Mtachalo was on the ground.
About the early marriages. Yeah. Yes, work, yeah?
So they have come back again to the same situation of having 2 blocks. Because now this one is down. It's more like it has just been everything.
Mr. Mtachalo has expressed concerns over the quality of desks being supplied to the schools in the constituency and emphasized the need to monitor contractors by the local authority.
Because we don't come to monitor these things. Once they are dispatched, we don't see. When monitoring comes in,
do you remember last time we had got it?
That's signing fund.
I got it out that these desks which are being made, when a bolt has been fixed like this, it has to be locked by a nut and bent. So that this is to budget, it is to choke the nuts. But when you look at them, what should you see that they are falling off? Because they are not locked. They are not locked. But now if the same so-called technocrats, director of works,
and before, when a supplier brings the desk, we have to certify that this he has before we pay those contractors, because there's no way can be receiving, and then this kind of work, and then we pay them. So from now onwards, the CDF committee members always have to be present when they are bringing this matter.
Still in Eastern Province, Victor Mwila reports that some youth-led organizations in Chipata district have called on young people in the region to make use of opportunities being provided by government in the Constituency Development Fund to become productive and contribute to the development of the region. The youth organizations have observed that government has done a lot to create a conducive environment that supports youth entrepreneurship countrywide, but that the youths must become proactive to maximize available opportunities.
As the sun rises over Chipata, the commercial hub of Eastern Province, young people position themselves to make a living. Some are busy in production workshops that have only become possible through government empowerment programs, such as the Constituents Development Fund, CDF.
We have seen there's so many empowerment that the government has put, ranging from employment creation to actual empowerment in terms of money through the CDF, in terms of empowerment through equipment. We have seen so many good things that the government is doing in order to uplift the welfare of young people. So it's up to now the young people now to take advantage of these government opportunities that have been put. Recently, in addition to the CDF, we heard about the agriculture credit facility window. We believe that young people now, they need to take up this challenge to respond to the issues of climate change.
This year, the government is preparing to hold the main celebrations of the National Youth Day in Chipata, Eastern Province, to be graced by President Hakainde Hichilema. This came to light when a multi-sectoral team preparing for the president's visit to Chipata called on Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole. The youth in the region are happy with the news and see this as an opportunity to engage with the president.
As a government that was voted in by young people, we had a lot of expectations that some are being made into reality. The increment of CDF has brought about a lot of development. Of course, a number of problems that we would also like to highlight. We, as Eastern Province, the whole of Eastern Province, we don't have a public university. Young people from Eastern Province, Chama, Lundazi, they are going to Lusaka, Copperbelt, to go and access tertiary education.
I'm very happy. We are receiving our father. We are very happy. We are very impressed to receive them, to visit us, because we have a lot to do as a youth. We have actually prepared the road.
Victor Mwila for Zanis News in Chipata.
Back to Central Province, Kabwe Municipal Council has commenced the unblocking of drainages in various flood-prone areas in the district. The local authority is currently opening up drainages in High Bridge and Katondo compound, which are blocked due to indiscriminate disposal of waste. Details in the following report.
The Kabwe Municipal Council has commenced unblocking of drainages in various flood-prone areas in the district. The local authority has been funded 250,000 kwacha under the disaster component to open up drainages in various flood-prone areas. Kabwe Municipal Council Acting Director of Works, Richard Mianzi, says the local authority is using local resources to open up the blocked drainage system.
So we were funded using the disaster component to have our drainages desilted. Of course, the approach that we used, we engaged our local people as a way of empowering them, but of course we are closely supervising them to ensure that we have proper drainages. So the drainages in questions, I think they run from High Ridge ward there, then they also come through up to Katondo ward here, then eventually they discharge water into the main canal, which we are working on under Zimra project. So I think after desilting the drainages, we have, I think, experienced some reduction in terms of flooding or ponding around the communities.
However, residents have expressed concern with the quality of works being done by the locals who have been engaged to open up the drainages.
I think these works are, of course, they raise a lot of concerns from both residents and those that do not even reside from within.
It's 4 inches like this, a drainage. So bush kufyebu muimfula ya isa konseka shikama na bantu bambo kutuseka.
Not happy, they are not impressed. Like the finishing, this finishing where they said there is concrete, they have covered, they are not really happy.
Kabwe Central Member of Parliament, Chrysosta Piri, has visited the site. She wants the local authority to heighten the monitoring of the works.
Issues to do with levels are just adhered. So we don't have a backflow, we don't have again ponding. The water should be able to move freely until the discharging point. So with my own naked eyes, seeing that it is high.
Daniel Billy for Zanis News in Kabwe District.
In sports news, on a sad note, the Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, has expressed sadness at the death of Copper Queens and Indeni Roses striker Noreen Betani. Betani died on Wednesday morning at the University Teaching Hospital after being diagnosed with suspected malaria. FAS General Secretary Ruben Kamanga says the player reported to camp whilst unwell and was taken to the hospital for thorough examinations on recommendation by team medics. Kamanga further said the patient was referred to the University Teaching Hospital on Monday and was under medical care until her demise. Kamanga said in a statement issued to Zanis that details of the funeral will be shared in due course. The funeral is being held at her parents' house in Lusaka's Garden House. Meanwhile, speaking from Ghana, Copper Queens midfielder Irene Lungu says Zambia needs to open their 2024 Paris Olympics first leg qualifiers with a win against Ghana. Lungu says the first win is important for the team as it will help the Copper Queens to boost their morale and grab all 3 points in the return fixture of the qualifiers. She said the team has trained hard as everyone is in shape and ready to face the Black Queens of Ghana on Friday. And defender Thabo Miselo said the team is looking forward to a positive result and getting maximum points they need to qualify to the Olympics. Miselo said the team will build on the experiences gained from the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup and the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations in order to beat their opponents.
So far so good. Everyone is ready. I think we've been pushing ourselves and the league has helped us a lot. I think everyone is in good shape now. The best game in Ghana is very important because if we carry the 3 points, then we're good to go. So our aim is to win our first game in Ghana. Pressure is there. I think the only pressure that we have is to carry the maximum 3 points in Ghana. I think that's the pressure that we have.
We're really looking forward for a positive result. Yeah. So we're hoping for the best. We're ready to fight and get a maximum point there. I'm very much ready to play. So yeah, everything is possible. So even as we come back from Ghana, we'll definitely work hard and get maximum point because we'll have an home advantage.
As we end the news, a recap of stories that made headlines. Over 100,000 hectares of maize fields in Central Province damaged by dry spell. Mbesha village in Kasama district cut off due to flooding at Lukulu River. Government to establish beef agro parks in Southern Province. And in sports, Copper Queens confident of beating Ghana. On that note, we end Zanis News. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, I'm Alice Banda saying goodbye and God bless you.